Season 8, AI and Truth. Episode 2, How Deepfakes Break Trust. 1. Introduction, the end of proof by video. For a long time, society treated video as a kind of proof. If you saw it on camera, it happened. Not always, not perfectly, but the assumption was strong enough to shape courts, journalism, politics, and everyday arguments. Deepfakes attack that assumption. They do not just create fake videos. They create a world where video is no longer automatically believable. And that does not only help people who want to fool you. It helps people who want to deny reality. When trust collapses, everyone loses. Because trust is how society coordinates. Trust is how institutions function. Trust is how people decide what to believe without personally investigating everything. This episode explains how deepfakes break trust, why the damage is bigger than individual fake videos, how deepfakes will change politics and culture, and why the real threat is not only deception, but the collapse of shared certainty. 2. What a deepfake is, without the technical fog. A deepfake is synthetic media made to look authentic. It can be a fake video of someone speaking, a fake audio clip of someone's voice, a fake photo that looks like real photography, a manipulated clip that changes context. The key feature is not that it is edited. People have edited media forever. The key feature is that it uses AI to generate or alter content in ways that can be highly convincing, fast, and scalable. Deepfakes are not only created by experts anymore. The barrier is dropping. That is why the issue is growing. 3. The first trust break. Seeing is no longer believing. Deepfakes break the first trust rule of modern media. Seeing is believing. When people know deepfakes exist, they become suspicious of everything. That suspicion spreads beyond deepfakes. It spills into real footage, real images, real audio, real reporting. So deepfakes create a credibility tax. Every piece of evidence must pay the tax of verification. But verification is slow, and the internet is fast. So many people do not verify. They either believe what fits their worldview or reject everything as possibly fake. Either way, the shared reality weakens. 4. The second trust break, the liar's dividend. The liar's dividend is the benefit that liars gain from a world full of fakes. When fake content is common, real content becomes deniable. A public figure caught saying something can claim it was AI. A corrupt official exposed can claim the recording is fake. A violent incident documented can be dismissed as synthetic propaganda. Even if the evidence is authentic, doubt becomes plausible. This is crucial. Deepfakes do not only help the people who create fakes. They help the people who want to escape accountability. In a world of deepfakes, denial becomes easier. 5. Third trust break. Authenticity becomes a status symbol. As verification becomes harder, authenticity becomes scarce. Scarcity creates hierarchy. People begin to trust only certain sources, certain institutions, certain communities, certain influences. Truth becomes tribal. If you trust one group, you reject others. This is already happening in politics. Deepfakes intensify it. Because when people cannot verify reality easily, they rely on social trust, not evidence. They believe what their group believes. That is how a society fractures into separate realities. 6. Why Deepfakes are different from older propaganda. Propaganda has always existed. So has deception. So why are deepfakes different? Because deepfakes attack identity. They can put words into your mouth. They can make you appear to do things you never did. They can simulate your voice. They can simulate your face. This is more intimate than anonymous misinformation. It makes every person vulnerable. Not only public figures. Also, deepfake scale. A propaganda campaign used to require production teams. Deepfakes can be mass-produced. Finally, deepfakes can be personalized. A scam can mimic your boss's voice. A message can appear to come from someone you know. This changes the risk landscape. 7. The personal harm, blackmail, harassment, and revenge. Deepfakes cause personal harm long before they become geopolitical weapons. Non-consensual fake content. Fake intimate images. Harassment campaigns. Revenge deepfakes. Blackmail and extortion. Impersonation scams. These harms are serious because they can ruin lives even if they are proven fake. The stigma can remain. The emotional damage can remain. The social consequences can remain. Deepfakes make identity attackable. That is a new vulnerability. 8. The scam economy, Deepfakes as fraud tools. Deepfake audio is already a powerful scam tool. A voice message that sounds like a manager. A call that sounds like a family member. A fake emergency request. This matters because scams rely on urgency and trust. If you believe the voice is real, you act quickly. Deepfakes allow scammers to bypass skepticism. They can exploit people emotionally. That makes fraud more effective. As deepfakes improve, authentication becomes harder. This increases the demand for verification systems, but it also increases the burden on individuals. You have to doubt what you hear. That is exhausting. 9. Politics, the time bomb of elections. Deepfakes are especially dangerous in elections. Because elections are time-sensitive. A fake video released days before voting can shape perception. Even if it is debunked later, the damage may be done. This is sometimes called the fire hose effect. The goal is not long-term belief. It is short-term impact. Deepfakes can also be used to suppress voting by spreading fake instructions. Incite violence through staged incidents. Trigger diplomatic tension through fake statements. Manipulate markets with fake announcements. In elections, speed beats truth. Deepfakes weaponize speed. 10. Why debunking does not fully fix the problem. Many people assume debunking solves misinformation. But deepfakes reveal why this is incomplete. Debunking is slower than spreading. Debunking reaches fewer people. Debunking often strengthens belief in some groups because of distrust. Debunking requires attention. But attention has already moved on. Also, the emotional impression remains even when facts change. A shocking clip can imprint. Even if you later learn it was fake, the feeling remains. Deepfakes exploit this. They target emotion, not reason. So even perfect debunking cannot restore the old trust environment. 11. The arms race, detection versus generation. There is a constant race. Deepfake generation improves. Detection tools improve. Then generation improves again. This is not stable. Attackers only need one convincing clip to succeed. Defend must catch everything. That is an asymmetry. Also, detection is not always available to ordinary people. Even if tools exist, most individuals do not use them. Platforms may not enforce them consistently. So the arms race does not guarantee safety. It guarantees continuous uncertainty. 12. How Deepfakes change journalism. Journalism depends on verification. If media authenticity becomes uncertain, journalists must spend more time verifying content. That slows reporting. It also increases costs. Smaller outlets may struggle. Meanwhile, fake content spreads faster. So the information ecosystem becomes more unequal. Large institutions can verify. Small ones cannot. Also, adversaries can accuse real journalism of using deepfakes. That undermines credibility. Deepfakes become a weapon against reporters. Not only through fake clips, but through the accusation of fakery. 13. How Deepfakes change courts and evidence. Courts rely on evidence. Video footage. Audio recordings. Digital records. Deepfakes create legal challenges. How do you authenticate a clip? What standards of proof are required? How do you maintain chain of custody? This can increase the cost of justice. It can also create doubt that helps guilty parties. If evidence can be dismissed as fake, accountability weakens. So deepfakes do not only attack public opinion. They attack legal systems. And legal systems are the foundation of democratic order. 14. International relations, crisis triggers. In geopolitics, deepfakes can trigger crises. A fake statement from a leader. A fake announcement of mobilization. A fake video of an attack. A staged incident. During tense situations, leaders may act quickly. If they act on false information, escalation can occur. Even if the deepfake is discovered later, the damage may already be real. This is dangerous because crisis management depends on trust. Deepfakes reduce trust. They increase uncertainty. Uncertainty increases the risk of miscalculation. 15. Why the real threat is epistemic fatigue. Epistemic fatigue means people get tired of figuring out what is true. When everything can be fake, people stop trying. They disengage. They retreat into entertainment. They retreat into communities that provide certainty. They accept whatever narrative comforts them. This fatigue is a societal vulnerability. Because democracy requires engagement. Public health requires trust. Social cooperation requires shared reality. Deepfakes produce fatigue by making reality costly to verify. When reality becomes costly, many people choose cheap certainty instead. That is how trust breaks. 16. What can be done? Technical and social defenses. No single defense is enough. But there are layers. 1. Provenance systems authenticity markers attached at capture and preserved through distribution. 2. Digital signatures verified cryptographic proof that media came from a known device or source. 3. Platform policy enforcement faster removal, labeling, and limiting of synthetic media in sensitive contexts. 4. Verification culture stronger norms for journalists and institutions to confirm sources before amplification. 5. Public literacy teaching people how deepfakes work and how to pause before sharing. 6. Legal consequences clear penalties for malicious impersonation, fraud, and harassment. 7. Rapid response networks trusted organizations that can authenticate content quickly during crises. The key idea is layered resilience. But resilience requires political will and investment. 17. The hard truth. Trust will not return to the old state. Even with defenses, society cannot fully return to the old era of easy trust in media. Deepfakes are a permanent capability. So the goal is not going back. The goal is building new trust structures. More verification. More provenance. More accountability. and more patience. This is uncomfortable. It forces society to slow down. But slowing down may be the price of truth. 18. Core takeaway. Deepfakes break trust by attacking the credibility of evidence itself. They make seeing less believable. They give liars plausible denial. They fragment reality into tribes. They enable personal harm and fraud. They destabilize elections, journalism, courts, and international crises. They create epistemic fatigue, where people stop trying to know what is true. The danger is not only fake videos. The danger is a world where truth becomes too expensive to verify. When truth becomes expensive, power gains room to operate without accountability. If this episode helped you understand how deepfakes break trust, like this video so more people can see it. Share it with someone who thinks deepfakes are only funny internet clips. And subscribe to Uncovering Facts for deep, hype-free documentaries on AI, truth, power, and the systems shaping modern life. Next episode, why seeing is no longer believing.